Tadej Pogacar did an incredibly juicy ride at Strade Bianche, absolutely riding away from the who's who, just like they were amateurs, and amazing. Let's look at his bike setup here. So you can see both of his tyres appear to be flat. He's using a Colnago, Chinese-made Colnago. But let's talk about the real facts here. His seat post. Look at his zero offset seat post. And is it a zero offset, or is it almost like a 5-degree positive custom seat post maybe? He's got his saddle slammed, looks like all the way forward in the rails. Okay, you can see a lot of rail out the front. And his seat angle is pointed towards his groin stem, sorry, his carbon stem. So it is a few degrees down, and we would call that pre-rotated for the pelvic angle. You can watch Peak Talk, did a great deep dive on that one. But basically by having your saddle pointed down for a hilly course, it means when you are climbing, you can have a better sort of pelvic position. Your hips and everything's going to operate a little bit better for the climb. So you can push out a bit more watts, and it's going to be a lot more comfortable as well, because you won't have to sort of rotate your pelvis backwards. You can let it rotate forward naturally to get that power down, versus rotate it back up to avoid the saddle discomfort. Okay, so if you are packing a large pecker, then that pre-rotated saddle with a split down the middle will mean you'll be able to give the podium girls a bit of OF action later that night, if you know you know. Okay, so again, if you have a large upper body, then having a pre-rotated saddle probably not the best thing, because you'll have a lot of weight on the bars because you've got an extra heavy upper body. Okay, so this is more for people who have that professional cyclist physique. For me, I currently don't have that. I'm a bit too muscular. I find running a full slam setup like I used to just cranks my neck. But when I was 59 to say 66 kilos, I had no issues running a setup like this. So it comes down to your body weight, your upper body weight hugely. If you have a lot of upper body weight versus really very, very, very slim, thin pro cyclist looking, then you will want to have your saddle a bit more back, so your weight is over the rear of the bike versus more the front end. Because the upper body is going to be like a bit of a pendulum, isn't it? It's going to be swinging over. But anyway, this is Tadej Pogacar. Let's have a bit of a discussion. We've got the seat slammed forward, slightly tipped down for that pre-rotated pelvis, and he's got that long stem, a lot of weight over the front of the bottom, over the front of the bike, front of the bottom bracket. Just what I've been preaching for quite a long time. But then again, I stole that from Steve Hogg, didn't I? All right, this is not something I came up with. I stole it from Steve Hogg, who 20 years ago did a bike fit for me, and the first thing I noticed he did was lower my seat and slam it forward. That was the first thing I noticed Steve Hogg did, was just lower the seat, slam it forward. And I was like, this feels good, but weird. But back then I had a very, very slim upper body. So again, it depends on your physique goals. So I saw a rider in January, he had his seat slammed all the way forward, but I could tell that his neck was going to be cranking because his upper body was quite chunky. Okay, chunky. If you're a chunky monkey up top, then a saddle slam forward is going to give you a fair bit of neck pain, because you're going to be locked. Your upper body is going to be really trying to do its best to hold that weight. It's a bit like a rock climber, like a skinny female rock climber, will be able to do way more chin-ups and push-ups, etc., than like a full trend-out fake natty like Greg Douchet or something like that, So even though someone like Greg Douchet on the trend will just destroy deadlifts and bench press versus a skinny rock climber person, the rock climber person upper body ratio is going to be a lot stronger doing chin-ups and stuff like that. So same as a cyclist. If you're a skinny upper body cyclist, you're going to have a lot better fun slamming your saddle forward versus your juiced up trend body. You're going to have your saddle a bit more backwards. Anyway, that's the deal. Look at today's setup. Interesting stuff. Like I've been saying for years. Slam the saddle forward. Cadence. And just watch the video. Look at how much sugar Tadej was eating, and look at the cadence he had. He's like Chris Froome, just cadence, cadence, cadence. This guy's been watching my channel a long time. If you know, you know.